What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with an Eververse inventory preview for Revenant. And so this is the classic no silver required video, and we're going to break down largely items that are going to be sold for bright dust and silver during this episode. And essentially the purpose of the video is to let you guys know which items can be purchased for both of those currencies. And so if you don't want to spend real cash and silver, there will instead be the option to hold on and purchase some of these items for bright dust. As we've seen previously though, a lot of times items will sell for silver first, and then turn up for bright dust later in the season and in subsequent seasons. So if you want to spend bright dust instead, it's often the case that some patience is required. But nonetheless, I figured a breakdown of these items would be useful as always, so I hope you enjoy the video and find it useful. But now let's get into it. And we do have to give a big shout out to todayindestiny.com for their Eververse calendar. As of about a year ago, we can no longer see specific dates when items will be sold, but we still have the breakdown of what currencies they'll be available for. And so we will be touching on plenty of new items for this episode, but also some returning items for the year from both previous episodes and seasons, as well as for events. And so we'll start out with armor ornaments. A lot of the very juicy new armor ornaments this season are going to be silver only, so that includes the ones you can see on screen, the new Stompies ornament. There's one for Actium Warrig, which is pretty nice. The Fallen Sunstar, the Gaia Falcons ornament, plus there's one for Curious of the Fallen Star, Cenotaph Mask, Lucky Pants, and a couple of others. Unfortunately, those don't have a bright dust cost associated with them whatsoever, so presumably there will be silver exclusive. There's an overview right here of items which will be available for both silver and bright dust. And firstly, some ornaments from back in Season of the Splicer. There's Astra Strides for the Stompies. That's going to come up for both 600 silver and 1500 bright dust. And the same costs will apply to the Execute Revival ornament for Phoenix Cradle, and the Sovereign Signal, which is the ornament for Crown of Tempest. Otherwise, we know that the Assassin's Creed themed armor sets from back in Season of the Seraph are finally going to be featured for bright dust this season. So if you want to pick those up, you just have to keep an eye on the Eververse store on a weekly basis. Onto weapon ornaments though, there are at least a handful of new ones which will sell for bright dust. So the first is Rose Legacy for the Centrifuge, a very interesting looking ornament. That one will be sold for 700 silver, but will also be up for 1250 bright dust at some point during the episode. Then there's Occupational Hazard, which is a new ornament for Icebreaker, of course, which is returning for the dungeon. Again, it will sell for 700 silver, probably shortly after the dungeon is completed or when we first actually pick it up. But keep in mind that it will sell for 1250 bright dust this season as well. Otherwise, of course, with Festival of the Lost coming around, the same costs will apply here, but Worm Perilous, the ornament for Parasite, will sell for 700 silver and 1250 bright dust. We'll also see the return of Promethean Prelude, the Grand Overture ornament, and for the Pride Glass ornament for Fighting Lion. And especially for Festival, that should be a 3-week event, so there'll be a short wait there for any of these if you don't want to spend silver on them. And otherwise, a bunch of weapon ornaments from back in Echoes will come up for bright dust during this season. That includes the Rat King ornament, as well as the Ace of Spades 53rd ornament, Aldravanda for Witherhoard, and the Damascene Conductivity for Cloudstrike. Plus the Ergo Sum ornament will come up, as well as the Raised Voice ornament for Choir of One, Lost Air ornament for Buried Bloodline, and the Herald of Spring ornament for the Two-Tailed Fox. So keep an eye out for all of those. Onto event items though, once again, and we're onto exotic emotes here. The Festival of the Lost Gourd Summoner ornament will be sold for 1000 silver, but can also be purchased for 3250 bright dust. Same costs apply to the Ghastly Durance exotic emote. Then there's the Strange Brew emote for Festival. That will sell for 1200 silver, or 4250 bright dust. Then the same costs will apply to the Trick or Trio, plus a couple of new ones for this episode, and there's Metal Detector. That one will be 1000 silver, or 3250 bright dust. Then there'll be the Friendly Flowers exotic multiplayer emote, Grillmaster exotic emote, and then there are some legendary ones as well. These will be 500 silver or 700 bright dust, and that includes the Boulder Chase. But as we move on to exotic ghosts, again a couple of new ones for the episode here. There'll be the Lepus Major Shell. That one will be sold in a silver bundle and also have an individual silver cost of 600, but it will sell for 2850 bright dust as well. Then the same costs can be applied to the Avuncular Vagrant Shell, as well as the Restored Furniture exotic ghost, the Royal Rover Shell, and some of the festival items. So there'll be a new exotic ghost for Festival called the Eternal Shell. Again, there'll be multiple silver costs, but it will sell for 2850 bright dust as well. Plus there'll be the Interstellar Shell exotic ghost, and the Spinneret Shell exotic, again 600 silver or 2850 bright dust. That takes us on to Sparrows though, and firstly, some new ones for the episode. There is Derelict Duty, a Drifter-themed exotic Sparrow here. The individual silver cost will be 800, but it will sell for 2,500 Bright Dust as well. The same costs will be applied to the No Mind exotic Sparrow, and another one called the Dread Rover, plus there's one called the Retro Stretch as well. But for festival vehicles right here, there is the Stygian Steed, that will sell for 800 silver, or 2,500 Bright Dust. Then there is the Grotesque Lapis. Some of these we can't see previews for, as the database image for them hasn't been uploaded just yet. But additionally, there'll be the Conductive Hubris exotic Sparrow, and returning from previous years, there'll be the Majestic Winnie for 800 silver, or 2,500 Bright Dust. Then onto exotic ships, new ones for Revenant first, and there's a Drifter-themed one here, the Kitbashed Flyer. Individual silver cost is 800, but it'll sell for 2,000 Bright Dust as well. Then the same costs can be applied to the Golden Age Skimmer exotic ship right here, and the Daito White Rabbit exotic. Then from Festival of the Lost, there's the Manse Macabre. This will sell for 800 silver, or 2,000 Bright Dust. And the same costs applied to the Wretched Bow, which looks like it'll be a pretty cool festival ship there. Again, the preview is missing. Plus there'll be the Nevermore exotic ship, as well as the Desolated Dread. So keep in mind all of those can be purchased for Bright Dust. Onto our final few bits here though for Ghost projections. The Corvidae projection will sell for 200 silver, or 1,500 Bright Dust. And the same costs will apply to the Toe Beans projection, as well as the Cheeseburger projection, Whimsical projection, and the Elixir projection. Otherwise, as we know, the majority of shaders outside of bundles will sell for 300 Bright Dust, so not much point in covering any of those. But for armor ornaments to be aware of, there is the Cursed Arcana set. Now that'll be the new Festival of the Lost Armor set for the year. We can see those can be purchased for 1,500 silver or 6,000 Bright Dust, so pretty expensive stuff. The Bungie will also feature, at least according to the database, all of the previous Festival of the Lost Armor sets, so you can see quick screen grabs for all of those here, but the same costs will apply overall. They'll be sold for 1,500 silver or 6,000 Bright Dust. Otherwise, again, plenty of stuff this season, which is pretty juicy, but will be sold exclusively for silver, and you've probably been seeing some of those items in the Eververse store already. So for now, that's all of the stuff that's going to come up for both of the currencies, and if you want to avoid spending the silver, again, it will just be a case of waiting out for the Bright Dust ones to pop up in the Eververse store week over week. So let us know any that you're really looking forward to trying to pick up, and if you found the video useful, a like down below really does help us on the channel. Plus, if you want to see more Destiny content like this, get subscribed, hit that notification bell, and I will as always keep you up to date. Otherwise though, thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you guys very soon.